Welcome to the 15th video making a 2D racer in Unity. In this video, what we're going to do is set up a race controller, which is going to be responsible for receiving data as the cars are lapping, stopping the race when the race is over, and as you'll see later on, generating also a leaderboard so that we can actually see who finished first, the average lap times and things like that. So to start off with, what we'll do then inside the scene is we'll right click and we can do game object and create empty and call this race controller. And then on the right hand side, add components, we'll add a new script into here and call that race controller. I'll click create and add, and then we can save that into asset scripts and race in this case. Before we start coding this up, it's probably worth taking a moment to go through how it's all going to work broadly anyway. So the race controller is going to have a property on it, total laps, which is the number of laps for the race, and it'll also keep track of the race time as the race is running. When it starts up, it'll grab all the references confined to car cores, which should be one for each car. That'll be stored then in a dictionary as a key, and the value will be an instance of CarRaceData. We'll call this dictionary RaceData, and CarRaceData will be a new class which has the car name, the number of laps completed, and we'll do a Boolean property on there that we can use to tell whether a race has been completed or not by a given car. Then the race controller will hook itself up to the onLapCompleted event, and each time a lap is completed, it'll update its CarRaceData for the car that's just completed a lap, and at the same time check whether the race has been completed. If the race has been completed, what it's going to do is it's going to broadcast the RaceOver action, which will be on race events, and each of the car core components themselves will be hooked up to that RaceOver event, and when they receive it, they'll change their state to waiting, which will make all of the cars stop dead on the track. So let's drop back into Unity and start coding this up. So I'm going to go into the scripts and the race here, where we have our race controller, and just right click, and we'll go to create and scripting. And we just want an empty C# script here, and that's going to be our CarRaceData. Once Unity finishes whirring away, we can double click on that, and we don't need a mono behavior or anything like that, which is why we've just made a plain script. This is simply going to hold some information. So we'll add in a public string car name with a public getter and a private setter, and then we'll also add an integer in here for completed laps. Then we can set up the constructor, and as the parameter here, we're going to take in a car core, and we'll call this car. Then the car name is equal to the car.carName. Let's give the completed laps an initial value of 0 as well. And then we'll add a public void add lap time, which will take in a float lap time. And for now, what we'll do is we'll increment the completed laps. We'll deal with the lap times later on. So that's the basics of our CarRaceData, which we're going to store then in our race controller. So let's open up our race controller. So in the race controller then, we can change this to awake, and we can get rid of the update, at least for now, and we'll delete that comment as well. The first thing here is to serialize a field, and that's going to be an integer, which is going to be our total laps. We'll set that by default to 3. Then we want a dictionary as well. So we'll make a private and dictionary here. The key will be of type car core, and the value is going to be of type CarRaceData. We can call this then RaceData for want of anything better, and we'll initialize this so we don't get the strange null values. So inside the awake then, we can grab hold of all of the cars that we have. So that's going to be varCars is equal to, and then we want find objects by type. The type here will be car core, and the sort mode here is simply going to be none. Then we can loop through each of these. So that's for car in cars, and then add each of those to our dictionary. So we get our race date. What have I done there? Hang on a minute. Race data. That's a little bit better. So race data. The key is the car, and then the value is going to be a new instance of CarRaceData, sending in the car. And then finally, what we can do is we can debug log just to make sure that everything's looking okay here. So we'll make a formatted string. We can say race controller, and we'll put in the racedata.count, which will tell us how many entries are actually in the dictionary, and then we can put the laps as well. So control this to save. Back inside Unity then, I'm going to make a bit of space here and select the race controller here. Do we have one actually there? Yes, we do, and total laps. So I'm going to run the application. Then selecting the console here, we've still got loads of waypoint stuff here. I'd like to check the race controller. Hopefully you'll see it up here somewhere. There we go. Race controller 3 and laps 3. 3 is not very descriptive there, is it? I'll close that down, go back into the code very briefly. Let's do cars like this. Okay, so we know that's 3, we've just seen it. So we've got 3 cars and 3 total laps. That looks good. Now we want the race controller to respond to the laps as they're being completed. Now we're already doing this in the lap log listener, I think here. So let's actually take this code. I'm going to copy this, and the lap log listener, actually, I don't think we really need anymore, but we might as well leave it in here in case we need it for something later on. Let's go back to the race controller, and we can drop this above here. And then I'd like the awake actually to be above these, so I'll cut that and put that back here. So subscribe in the on enable, and then we unsubscribe in the on disable. What we want to do in the lap completed now is we want to invoke for this car core in the dictionary the CarRaceData add lap time. To do that, we need to actually get hold of the car core from the dictionary, and if it doesn't exist, then we'll just simply ignore it. So we'll say if not, and our race data try get value, and here we're going to use our car as the key, and then we'll do out var data, then we'll just simply return from here. Because we haven't managed to actually find our car core in the dictionary, which shouldn't happen, but if it does, then we don't want to try and obviously use something that's going to be null. Otherwise, the data will be the data that we want, so we can do data dot and then add lap time, and we'll send in then the lap time. Then in the debug here, we'll say data dot and car name, and remove this from here, I think, and then it's a new lap. And then we can take the data completed laps, and then show also the total laps. So what should happen now when we run the race is the car should go round and round, and we should see in the log from the race controller that we're getting for this car name, its number of completed laps from the total laps. Let's also prefix this, shall we, with RaceController. So we do have some other stuff, I think, in there. So I'll put some square parentheses and just put this in here like this. All right, so back into Unity. So back in Unity, I've already actually pressed play before hitting record, so you can save you a little bit of time. I'm just watching now and it seems to be working. So Possum has just crossed for the second lap completed, and Maisie eventually got there as well. And Possum is about to complete the third lap. Now the RaceController isn't controlling the RaceOver yet. The main thing now is just to check that it is monitoring the laps. And it seems to be doing that. Okay, do we have a 4? Yeah, we do. All right then, cool. So hopefully that's working for you. I'm going to close that down. Let's now detect the race actually being completed. So we'll drop back into VS Code, and in our CarRaceData, let's add ourselves a private variable, which is going to be the target laps. And we'll take in the target laps into the constructor directly. Let's remove the underscore from here. And here we can say then that our target laps is equal to the target laps. And then we'll add ourselves here a public bool for the race being completed. So we'll say public and bool, call this race completed. And here what we can do is we can simply use a one-liner, which is the number of completed laps is greater than or equal to the target laps. Now we have red text in RaceController here, and that's because the constructor that we're using here is no longer valid. We need to give it the total laps. So we'll put the total laps into here. And now we should be able to detect that the race is completed. So where we have the on-lap completed, what we can do is ask if data.raceCompleted. We can add ourselves a debug log, and we'll say RaceOver, and then we can say the winner is, and we'll take the data car name. Now what this is going to do here is it's going to keep running for all of the cars. We're not stopping the race or anything like that. But before we do the stopping the race, I'd like to check that we do see this when the first car actually crosses the line, completing the desired number of laps. So I'm going to go back into Unity and actually play it off screen from you. And I'll be right back, hopefully with the race paused, having been won by someone. Okay, so I've been ahead and played it, and it did work. So I've got the race over, winner is Tigger in this case, and then Possum crossed it shortly after, so also became a winner of the race. But the main thing is the RaceController can detect the winner. So I'm going to stop that. Let's drop back into the codes and add a little bit more to the RaceController to control the start and the finishing of the race and the tracking of the race time. So now RaceController, let's add in some private fields. So we're going to add a private bool for started, we'll add one for finished, and we'll add another for race time. In this case, though, it's going to be a float. And then if we go to the, race events, we have the race start. So let's hook ourselves up to that inside our RaceController. So down inside the on enable here, we can copy and paste this, and we want the race start. And we can call this then on race start. Then we can unhook ourselves from that as well here. Generate this method stub, and inside here then we can set started to be equal to true. And now we can update the race time. So I'm going to copy this one here. Actually, no, let's put this below the on disable here. That's better. And then I'll copy and paste this, and we can make update. And inside here, we need to be a little bit careful. We want to say that if we've not started or we've finished, then we'll just simply return from here because we don't want to do any update to the race time. Otherwise, what we can do is we can say that the race time is plus equal to time.delta time. So when the race starts, this should be set to true. And when that happens, what should happen is we start updating the race time. Then down inside the lap completed, in the race completed here, we can set the finished is equal to true. And then we no longer want to do anything here if the race has not started or it's finished. So we'll say if the race has not and started or it's finished, then we'll simply return. And what we can also do down the bottom here is we can actually put the race time as well, can't we? Okay, so that should be now starting the race correctly, detecting the finish of the race, and also saying how long the race took. So what I'm going to do, as before, is I'm going to fade away, make sure it's working okay, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've gone ahead and ran it, the cars have lapped, and the winner was Tigger in 25.61 seconds, and I was watching the lap times, and that's absolutely correct. So that seems to be working. That's really good. So I'm going to stop this. One problem with it, of course, is the cars don't actually stop when the race is over. So to finish off this sequence, let's actually pause all of the cars when the race is over. So back inside our code then, let's find the race events, and we'll add another action here. We can call this a RaceOver, and then we'll make the function to emit this as well. Then let's go to the RaceController. And I think above the onLap completed, let's add a new private void. So copy and paste this stub here, and we'll call this finish race. Inside here, then what we can do is set finished is equal to true. I'm going to grab this debug log from here actually and cut this and place this here. So we've still got it. Then we can put the finished race down here. We're doing this because there's some more logic later on in the series coming into here. So we're going to put this in a function. And when the race is finished, what we can do is we can also emit then our event. Now we do have some red here, don't we? So we could do with taking in the data. So we'll take in some CarRaceData and data. Then here we can grab hold of our race events dot, and we want to find the emit RaceOver. Okay, so that's the RaceOver being emitted. I've still got some red somewhere. I can see on the left here. I've not sent the data in here, have I? There we go. So we'll send in the data. The final thing to do is to get the cars actually to pick up this is going on to change their state to waiting when the race is actually over. To do that, we can go to our car core here, which is the one that's dealing with the state. And do we have anything for hooking things up? Yes, we do here. Good. All right then. So we'll copy and paste this one. We want the RaceOver, and we'll do on RaceOver. Then we can disconnect from this as well here, and then we can also generate the method. And then inside here, we simply need to change our state. So we'll do change state, and we're looking for car state waiting. And that, so with probably ill-deserved confidence, should have the cars actually stopping when the first one crosses the line to win the race. So as ever in this video, I'm going to go away and test that to make sure it's working, and I'll be right back. Okay, so the race is hopefully about to be won by Tigger. I think it is here, lapping much faster than the other two cars. Here we go. Let's have a look. Does it stop? Yes, it does. Excellent. That's race over. Go to the console here. We've got the change state for waiting, but we can see here that Tigger won it, in this case, in 27 seconds. Now, it looks a little bit odd with all the cars freezing like this, but you'll see later on we're going to add a kind of grace period into here to give some of the cars a chance to finish the current lap they're on. There's quite a bit to that logic though, so we'll actually have a dedicated video for that one. But for this video, I think that's actually a good place to stop. Again, we've made a nice chunk of progress. We now have a race controller with some car race data as well, and this race controller is able to start and stop the race and keep track of all the laps and things that the cars are doing whilst the race is running. And with that done, what we're going to do in the next video is actually put a little leaderboard on the screen when the race is over so we can see how the cars have performed. So as ever, thanks very much for watching this video. Comments and questions welcome on YouTube as always, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.